Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shruti Smriti Purananam Alayam Karunalayam Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Krutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namah. Chaitanyam Sarvagam Sarvam Sarvabhuta Guhashayam Yat Sarva Vishayatitam Tasmai Sarvavide Namah. अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम पदार्थ स्मर्यते ध्रुवम एवं निर्दुःखमात्मानम् अक्रियम प्रतिपद्यते. So when the aspirant knows, has investigated the meanings of both the padartha and tvam, अन्वय व्यतिरेकाभ्याम पदार्थ स्मर्यते ध्रुवम. पदार्थ है the artha, the meaning of the pada, tat and tvam, which he has already determined by the method of anvaya vyatireka. Then when he is told about tattvamasi, nirdukkham akriyam atmanam pratipadyate, then he sees the self as nirdukkham, devoid of dukkha, akriyam, devoid of any kriya. सदेवेत्यादि वाक्येभ्यः प्रमा स्फुटतरा भवेत्. दशमस्त्वमिति अस्मात् यथैवं प्रत्यगात्मनि. How sadeva sadevत्वम् इत्यादि वाक्येभ्यः प्रमा स्फुटतरा भवेत्. It is a clear knowledge about the self arises just as dashamasthamasi, just as by the statement that you are the tenth, how the clear knowledge arises, I am the tenth man. Because all that was necessary was the removal of the notion or the Brahma that I am ninth. And in light of the Upadesha, you are the tenth, that Brahma goes away, then he sees himself as the tenth man. So the Brahma goes away, that I am a Jiva. Sees himself as the Pratyagatma. Prabodheni sasvapnam sardukham nivartate. Pratyagatma deyatadvat dukkhitvam sarvadatmanah. Just as when a person wakes up from the dream, all the dukkha or the pain or sorrow of the dream vanishes. So also Pratyagatma diya. By the knowledge of the Pratyagatma, the innermost self that I truly am, sarva dukkhitvam, the dukkhitvam which was superimposed, which was a notion, result of identification, no more remains. कृष्णलादौ प्रमाजन्म तदन्यार्था मृदुत्वतः तत्त्वमस्यादिवाक्येषु न त्वेवम् अविरोधतः प्रमायाः अजन्मयत् कृष्णलादौ तद्युज्यते. So, in case of the statement that may you cook the golden particles, that prama does not arise. When the particles are boiled, the prama or the knowledge that they are cooked does not arise. Tad yujyate is quite in order because it is not the nature of the gold particle to get cooked or become soft. Tatra anyartha prama adrushtartha na pakartha. Because there in the statement that may you cook these golden particles, the intention is not even to cook the gold particles, to boil the particles. And purpose of boiling the gold particles is to impart some special property to the particles called adrushta. And therefore the Vakya was not meant in a primary sense. It was meant in a secondary sense. Tattvamasyaadavakeshu natu evam. Because it is not the nature of the particles of gold to get cooked. Therefore, when you are told to cook the particles, that cannot be in a primary sense. It is nature of Svam that it is Tat. And therefore, the prama that I am Tat or I am Sat or I am Brahman will arise because that is the reality about me. The only thing that separates me from that is just my notion or conclusion that I am a Jivatma, nothing else. There is no real distance between myself, a Jivatma, and Paramatma. All that is necessary here is for that notion of Brahma to go. वाक्ये तत्त्वमसि इत्यस्मिन् ज्ञातार्थं तदसिद्वयम् त्वमर्थे सत्यसाहाय्याद् वाक्यं नोत्पादयेत् प्रमाम् तत्त्वमसि इत्यस्मिन् वाक्ये तद् असिद्वयम् ज्ञातार्थं यदि महावाक्ये तत्त्वमसि, the words tat and asi are already known to the aspirant, to the disciple. Tvamarthe sati. What that vakya is meant is to create in the listener the knowledge of the identity of tat and tvam. So in tat tvamasi, the two words, the tat and asi are already known to him. Therefore this vakya can create him the identity or the knowledge of identity of tat and tvam. Asahayyat. This vakya does not require sahaya, doesn't require assistance of any kind of karma, prasankhyanam, repetition of vakya. Here the discussion is, the Purupakshi says that some kriya of prasankhyanam, repeating this Aham Brahmasmi, is required for the knowledge to become ripe and abiding. Says no, because Tattvamasi Vakya only reveals what is. If it reveals something that has to happen, then of course karma is required to make it happen. If it reveals something that is already there, karma has no scope there. तत्त्वमस्यादि वाक्येषु त्वं पदार्था विवेकतः व्यज्यते न वाक्यार्थो नित्यमुक्तोऽहमित्यतः. That in the way statement Tattvamasi, Tvam Padartha Avivekatah. But Anvaya Vyatireka, the Viveka of the Tvam Padartha is not done, then Tattvamasi Vakya does not na vyajyate nitya muktoham. Tattvamasi Mahavakya should reveal to him that I am nitya mukta. That does not happen if he has not known or understood known the meaning of the word Tvam. So, Tvam Padartha Avivekatah. अस्मिन् वाक्ये तत्पदम् अस्ति पदम् चेति द्वयम् ज्ञातार्थम् प्रसिद्धार्थम्. What is tat also is known, well known, asi also is well known. Tvam arthe, tvam padarthe sati avijñāte asahayāt sahaya shunyatvat sahakari vināt vakyametat pramam na utpadet. Tvam padarthe sati avijñāte. If tvam padartha is not known, then this Mahavakya cannot generate the knowledge. Therefore, the meaning of the word tvam has been to be known. Then only this word tat tvamasi can create the knowledge. Asi padasya upayogama of this Vakya, tat and tattvamasi, what role does this word asi serve? So says verse 196. Tattvamostulya nīdārtham asityetat padam bhavet. Tattvamo tulya nīdārtham. Stated tattvamasi asi ityetat padam. This word asi tattvamo tulya nīdārtham. Nīda means vibhakti here. Samadhikaranyārtham. The word asi is meant to convey the samadhikaranyārtham. That both the words tat and tvam in fact refer to the same entity because they satisfy the condition of samadhikaranyam. Each one of them is its own pravrutti, bhinna pravrutti nimittanam. Eka vibhaktikanam, both of them are in one vibhakti. Ekasminarthe, therefore they have tatparya. The targeted meaning is one of tat and tvam. That being the case, so asi is what establishes that equality by creating the samadhikaranyam. So tulya nīdārtham, nīda is vibhakti. Tulya nīdārtham, samana vibhaktikārtham, kuru chintaya ityādi vikriya akanksha nivaranena. So when you say asi, when you hear the word asi, you are. If tvam bhavishyati or bhavishyasi, if you say you will become, then you will create an akanksha of some kind of an action. But you are this. Like a beggar being told that you are a prince. Like Karna being told that you are a Kaunteya, not Radheya. So when the Vakya reveals the fact, existing fact, then the expectation or the need of any action does not arise. So Kuru, do something, Chinte, meditate on this, perform some action like Yagadi. Chinte performs upasana. इत्यादि क्रिया आकांक्षा निवारणेन. Whenever asi is used, there is no akanksha or expectancy of kriya. That it reveals an existing fact, and therefore nothing has to be done about. All you have to do is to know the existing fact. Samadhikaranya siddhya aikyalamanatva spashtikarnartham. So asi establishes the samadhikaranyam, and therefore aikya alambanatva spashtikarnartham. That is aikyam or identity between both of them, alambanam. When both they are placed in the same vibhakti, or when samadhikaranya prayoga is there is one alambanam. Both of them have the same meaning. Meaning refer to the same entity, not same meaning, but refer to the same entity. Asi, asmi ityadi upayujyate. So what asi or asmi, aham brahmasmi, asmi, tattvamasi, asi, this is the as dhatu which reveals the existing fact. It is not a verb of becoming, it is a verb of being. So usually a verb means some kriya pada, means some action is implied. But these are the kriya pada or the verbs like asi, asmi. To be is not a verb of being, it is a verb of, so it is not a verb of becoming, it is a verb of being. Tattvamo tulyanirartham asi ityeta padam bhavet. Now continuing, nirakangshe samadhikaranya sati kulabha iti. Nirakangshe samadhikaranya sati is samadhikaranya which reveals an existing fact, eliminates the akanksha or expectancy of doing something. So the samadhikaranya which is established by the word asi or asmi eliminates any akanksha. It reveals the existing fact, the verb of being, therefore it eliminates any akanksha of doing something. Kuru, chinta, etc. Kulabha. That's what samadhikaranyam does, and that's what asipada does. Asipada contributes in revealing the samadhikaranya of tat and tvam. That samadhikaranya in turn reveals also an existing fact, equality. So there is no akanksha, it just says who I am, not what I have to become. So ko labha, what is the advantage there? Apekshamaha, next verse is Tachabda pratyagatmartha Tachabdarthastvamastatha Dukkhitva pratyagatmatvam Varayetamumbhavapi. That Shabda, so where was this footnote 1? Oh. 197? Yeah, Dukkhitva, alright. So Tat Shabda Pratyagatmartha. The word Tat Pratyagatmartha Pratyagatma Artha Yasya Saha Pratyagatmartha. So word Tat is meant to convey the meaning of Pratyagatma. The Asipada establishes this, Samadhikarana establishes that the word Tat means exactly identical to Tvam. Therefore, Tat is meant to convey the meaning that is Pratyagatma. Tvam padena samadhikaranyaditi yodyam. Because the word Tat enjoys samadhikaranya with Tvam, therefore Tat means the mean. So Tat means what Tvam is. Tatha Tvamaha Tvam padasya Tat shabdartha artha bhaved. Similarly also the word Tvam means what Tat means. Tatpadena samadhikaranyatiti yojana. Ekasmin arthe tatparyam. Bhinna pravrutti nimittanam. Even though normally in Vyavahar the words Tat and Tvam are meant to convey different meanings, they have different pravrutti, they have their own independent meanings. What the Samadhikaranya does is that in spite of their different activities, ekasmin arthe tatparyam. The tatparya purport in communicating only ekasmin artha, one meaning, one entity. Tadava kolabha iti. Therefore, Tat conveys what is meant by Tvam, and Tvam conveys what is meant by Tat. Tadava kolabha iti. Then what is the advantage? So, next line said, Dukkhitva apratyagatmatvam varayetam ubhau api. So, Dukkhitva apratyagatmatvam. Atmana Dukkhitvam and Brahmana apratyagatmatvam. The Atma is Dukhi, that's the notion I have right now. And Brahman is Paroksha, apratyagatma, not the self, different from myself. Ubhavi varayetam. These two notions are knocked off by one sentence. The limitedness of Parichinnatvam of the Atma and Parokshatvam, remoteness of Brahman. So the verse says, Nirdukkitvam tvamartasya, footnote, tadarthena visheshanat pratyaktacha tadarthasya tvampadenasya sannidehe. Verse from Nishkarmi Siddhi. Tvamarthasya tadarthena visheshanat. Because in Samadhikaranyam, the word Tvam is now equated to Tat. Therefore, Nirdukkitvam. If I am Tat, I am Brahman, I cannot be Dukhi, because Brahman I know is limitless, is Purnam. Pratyakcha tadarthasya, pratyaktacha tadarthasya. If Tat is Tvam or I, then the Pratyaktvam. Pratyakta, it says, Pratyaktvam cha tadarthasya. That would have been easier, but anyway, so Tyakta, you wonder what is Pratyakta. But anyway, Pratyaktvam cha tadarthasya. Tadarth means Pratyak. Tvam padeyanasya sannidehe, because of sannidhi samadhikaranyam, with Tvam pada, tad means only Pratyagatma. Therefore, ubho api shabdao tvamarthasya dukkhitvaamsam tadarthasya anatmatvam parokshatvaamsam cha varayetam ityartha. So, between them, these two words, the samadhikaranyam, equality, identity, eliminates dukkhitvam of the Atma and the parokshatvam of Brahman. I mean, this is not simple algebraic equation. That is how it is explained here. Our life has to become like this, and we have to live life in this manner. That Tvam has to all the time try to equate with Tat, with Ishvara. How would it be if I was the Ishvara was here? How would he think and how would he behave? And this is how you have to equate yourself with that. How if Bhagavan was here? So that has to also become, this will not be a simple algebraic equation unless if our life does not reflect it at all. It will remain an algebraic equation. Simply intellectual exercise, that's what it will be. It will become reality when the values that are indicated by this. Tattvamasi is the base of all the values. Because that also is the self of all. I am the self of all. Atma upamena sarvatra samam pashyati yorjana sukham vayadeva dukkham sayogi paramo matah. A yogi looks upon others also as the same as himself and tries to treat others the way he would treat himself. So this and all values are based on this. The value of ahimsa, non-violence also is based on this, of treating the other person as I would treat myself. And satyam and everything is based on this one. All values are based on non-duality ultimately. So whether we accept non-duality as the goal or not, the values have their basis in non-duality. And as we advance in practicing the value, it will require us to give up the dualities. Give up that bheda, the division. With myself and others, the division has to go for me to properly practice that value. I cannot retain that division. That requires politics. To retain division and emphasize division requires politics. Politics means because it's against the reality. By politics I mean manipulation. So the manipulation requires when you go against the reality. And so the whole life will be manipulation. But this Tattvamasi, Aham Brahmasmi, they are the very basis, that non-duality, the oneness, is the very basis of all the values. So all these should come in our life. That's why Lord Krishna teaches Amanitvam, Adambhitvam, these values before revealing, the nature of Kshetra, Kshetrajna. Going to the next verse. Evam vakyartha varnane advititva paratva parashrutya avirodha siddhyate iti abhiparitya upasamharate. Evam vakyartha varnane. Because Purva Pakshi said this vakyartha can also mean some kriya. Even though there is no verb of becoming there or no verb implying any kind of injunction of kriya, he says no Vedic statement can be devoid of kriya. Amnayasya kriyarthatvat. Amna Veda is meant to enjoin you in any action. That is why even this statement also has to be in some way interpreted to imply an action of some kind. So therefore, vakyartha varane adviditva parashrutya avirodha syat. But only when you take this vakya as not implying any kriya at all, it's just revealing an existing fact. If this is how you understand, interpret the vakya, advityatva parashrutya avirodha siddhyati, then there is avirodha, non-contradiction with the advitya paratva shrutya. Shrutis which says nehananasti kinchana sarvam khalidam brahma tattvamasi etc. With all those shrutis there is no contradiction at all. Is in keeping with those shrutis. In abhipretya upasamharate. So this discussion of refuting the idea of any karma supposed to be conveyed by the Mahavakya is now, refutation is concluded. Evam cha. एवं च नेति नेत्यर्थम् गमयेतां परस्परम् एवं च नेति नेति वाक्य सिद्धमर्थमित्यर्थः. So this vakya tattvamasi neti neti artham gamayetam parasparam. Each one helps you to negate something from the other. When tat and tvam are equated, then tat requires you to negate the parokshatvam of tat. And tat is equated. So dukkhitvam of the atma has to be negated when atma is equated to tat. And parokshatvam of tat has to be negated because atma, that is equated to tvam. So here also is in a way by neti neti. Adukkhitvam, or aparoksham tat. So that way from the tat the parokshatvam, from tvam the dukkhitvam. Ultimately, therefore, it is by negation alone that this works. Even though the discussion was that it is only by vidhi, videya, and not by nisheda that the Shruti says, but ultimately nisheda because there is Brahma. Nisheda is required because there is Brahma. Evam cha neti netyartham gamayetam parasparam. पूर्व पक्षे श्रुतहानि अश्रुतकल्पना निष्प्रामाणिका इति उक्तम् उपसंहरति. पूर्व पक्ष by imagining some karma involved here in terms of kuru or chintaya, that this vakya enjoins you to perform some yaga or perform some meditation or repeating prasankhyan or repeating this vakya, aham brahmasmi. Nothing wrong in repeating for abiding in knowledge, understand. It's not repeating vakya, repeating the vision. Here the point is you repeat the vakya to create some adrishta. So, when a karma is enjoined, it is to create an adrishta. It will impart a certain power to this vakya when you get moksha. So when they insist upon this karma even of prasankhyanam or repeating the vakya in your mind, the idea is to impart some special quality to this vakya so that, or to the knowledge so that it results into moksha. So merely what the Mahavakya reveals, that will not result into moksha, something special has to be done. All that is nishpramanika. It doesn't have the support of the pramanyam. Iti. Evam tattvamasi ityasya gamyamane phale katham apramanatvamasyoktva क्रियापेक्षत्वमुच्यते. एवं तत्त्वमसि इति अस्य गम्यमाने. So in this manner, when we understand the meaning of the word tattvamasi, which only reveals an existing fact about tat and tvam and removes the apparent contradiction between the two, which contradiction arose because of the identification of upadhi, understand? That's the reason why tat is thought to be paroksha and tvam is thought to be dukkhi, because of the identification with the upadhi. So this upadhi is limited, therefore identifying with that, I see myself as limited, that is dukkhi. You don't need to do anything other than seeing yourself limited being for dukkhi, that's all. And remoteness of Brahma. So, Purva Pakshe, Shrutahani, Ashruta-kalpana, Nishpramanika. That karma is not enjoined here, therefore you are adding Shrutahani. What the Mahavakya says is reveals a simple reality that you are giving up. Ashruta-kalpana. It does not imply any action which you are imagining. Nishpramanika. It is not support. That is why all this deliberation was carried out to see whether that can have any role to play. Meaning that enough advantage or enough accommodation was done for that interpretation to see whether it has something to contribute. But we find that that interpretation, that this Vakya involves some action, only contradicts everything. Evam tattvamasi yasya gamyamane. In this manner, the Vakya tattvamasi is known by the Samandhikaranyam. Katham kriya apekshatavam uchyate. How can there be any apeksha or any expectancy of kriya? Apramanatmamasya uktva. So then, kriya apekshatvam uchyate. How do you say that this Mahavakya is not pramanam in just revealing this, that it somehow conveys a kriya? So how can it be when accepting meaning as it is serves a real purpose? And Vakya is very simple. It simply states the equality or identity of Tat and Tvam. That's what the Rasi word does. There is no need to imagine Bhavati, etc., or Bhavishyasi, or something like that. So, Kriya apekshatvam katham uchyate. How do you expect? How do you say there is an expectation or need of a kriya? Katham shabda akshepada. It cannot be. There is no, so akshepa means kriya apekshatvam is na kriya apekshatvam. This statement is simply reveals the reality. There is no expectancy of any kriya. Yasmadevam vicharyamane kriyayaha anavakasha tasmadidupasamharate. Evam vicharyamane. When you deliberate upon the statement in this manner, then kriyayaha anavakasha. Then we find that the kriya or action, even prasankhyanam, has no role at all, no possibility, no occasion. Tasmad dharva itupasamharati tasmaditi. Tasmadat adyantamadhyeshu kurvityetad virodhyatah nikalpamo sutatvacha sutatyagophyanarthakah. Tasmat adi anta madhyeshu. In the beginning, in the middle, at the end. Kuru iti etat avirodhi. Iti etat virodhi. Therefore, this kuru, in the beginning, in the middle, of the end, this kuru or chintaya will contradict. And therefore, ataha na kalpamo ashrutatva na kalpamaha. So, therefore, this kuru we do not imagine. Kuru etat virodhi ataha na kalpamaha. Therefore, we do not see the need of imagining kuru, chintaya, etc. in this vakya. ashrutatvacha. And Shruti doesn't say that. So, Shrutahani, Ashruta Kalpana. You are negating what the Shruti says, you are imagining what the Shruti does not say. Shrutatyagopi anarthakaha. So, what the Shruti does not say, you don't need to imagine, and you cannot dismiss what the Shruti says, Shrutatyaga. So, the Tika explains, Tasmat Adi Antamadhyeshu Adau Tattvamasi Prasam Upadeshe. So, first the teacher says Tattvamasi. Madhye Padartha Parishodhana Anvyavyatirekha Grahana Kale. And then the disciples, Grahana means that he understands that. Padartha Parishodhana Anvyavyatirekha. To understand the meaning of the words Pada, Tat and Tvam, Anvyavyatirekha is required as to how there is Anvayatvam of consciousness, Vyatireka of the Upadhi. In general, in simple terms, because the meanings of both these words are known, that is why the problem is. The problem with Vedanta, or not problem with Vedanta, understanding what Vedanta teaches is because we already have notions about what Vedanta teaches. That problem does not arise with any other sciences like the, physics, chemistry, etc., which all deal with anatma. If we have no notions about physics and chemistry, we have an open slate, and therefore we understand what we are told. Here we already have conclusions about Tat and Tvam and everything. And therefore the notion, that is why it is difficult to understand or to grasp or understand or realize this Vakya, let us say. Ado Tattvamasi Prasama Upadeshe. Hey, you are Brahman. Madhye Padartha Parishodhana Anvyavyatirekha Grahana Kale. Then in order to understand the equation, you must do Anvyavyatirekha. If the Shruti says Tat Itvam, and I know that they are contradictory, this contradiction is not because of the reality, it is because of the Upadhi. Antecha nirvichikitsa brahmanubhava kale. Therefore, when the reality given to Upadhi, what is meant is that Upadhis are there, Tat has the Upadhi samashti, Tvam has the Upadhi vyashti. These costumes are there, but they don't enjoy the same reality as Tat and Tvam. Right now I am giving them the same reality, and that is why I think that I am limited or Brahman is Paroksham. And then they are Upadhis. They do not change in any, they are like costumes, they don't change anything in the original thing. So when I see that fact, then Nirvichikitsa Brahmanubhava Kale Nisamsha Nirvichikitsa, that in the Anubhava or the realization of Brahman or knowledge of Brahman, there is no doubt or error left in there. Kuru etad anusthana kalpanam tat tadartha pratipatti virodhi yataha. So kuru etad virodhi. So the Tikakara fills in the words that are required. Kuru iti etad anusthana kalpanam virodhi. So kuru etad virodhi. Etad means what? Anusthana kalpanam virodhi. That you imagine that there is a kuru involved here, chintaya involved here, that is virodhi. That is a kalpana anyway, because it's not stated there. And then you are imagining that it is there. In what way is it virodhi? Tat artha pratipatti virodhi. So when you add kuru, then you can't understand the meaning of tvam and tat either way. Because for doing something, you have to imagine them to be vikari and unattained, etc. Karma is for attaining what is not attained. Karma is for changing samskara, etc., etc., which nothing actually, applies here. Atah na kalpamah na kalpayamah. Therefore, we don't see any need of kalpana or imagining. Kriyamiti kriyam na kalpayamah. Therefore, we see no need of kalpana, of imagination, of any kriya, of doing something. So, and ashrutatvacha. So therefore, Shruti Virodhat or Shruta Virodhat and Ashrutatva. Since it is not there, there is no Shruti, does not specifically say any Kriya, therefore it is opposed to what the Shruti says. We imagine a Kriya. न केवलम अश्रुतत्वात् क्रियात्याज्य श्रुतत्यागस्य अनर्थकरत्वादपि. Alright, so not only ashrutatvat kriya tyajya, because the statement does not involve kriya, therefore a kriya has to be discarded. But then shrutatyagasya anarthakaratvat. Then you will give up what the Shruti says also, which also will bring about anartha or calamity, dukkham. Shrutatyagopi anarthakaha. For kriya you must give up the identity. That I already am tat, that has to be given up for me to become tat or achieve tat in some way, The tat is aparoksha, that also has to be given up in some way to make it aparoksha. And therefore you are trying to do something which contradicts or militates against the reality. Then when you do something, you are trying to do something, create an equation where it already exists. By imagining the equation is not there, and then trying to create an equation, so therefore you have to imagine both of them are separate, both of them are this, and then create an equation. So you have to superimpose something upon the reality of both tat and tvam to do that. So anarthakaha, that creates, then dukkhitvam has to be given reality, parokshatvam has to be given reality, and somehow you have to remove them. Anarthaka, that creates anartha, which you cannot do that. But that's what you are doing for the whole of your life anyway. What you are doing is to remove dukkhitvam from the Atma and then bringing Ishvara here. That is a struggle constantly going on. The struggle to make happen something which is already there, and therefore Shrutyagasya anarthakaratvat, that brings about anartha or lot of pain or suffering. Nitattvamarthayoh swarupam apraptam chintaniyataya vidhatam shakyate. So chintanam, karma is always apraptasya prapti. So praptasya praptyartham karma. Tattvam arthayoh swarupam apraptam chintaniyataya vidhatam shakyate. So when you have to become tat, that means that you have to negate what you are, apraptam. Then imagine that you are Brahman or something like that, and vidhatam shakyate, you have to imagine something which is not there or give up something which is there in order for equating that. So chinta means you think that, you imagine the equality of the two, but it is already there. To imagine an equality, to create an equality, I must somehow look upon them as unequal. And therefore, apraptam, so swarupam, equality is praptam, apraptam, chintaniyataya vidhatam. Chintanam is an action, and therefore I should imagine they are not equal, then somehow you imagine that they are equal. Like upon the murti, you superimpose the idea of the devata. Tat praptescha anyatah asambhavat, and that will not enable you to become Brahman. If you are not Brahman, then you can't become Brahman. That tat praptasya anyatah. So therefore becoming Brahman would be impossible had you not been already Brahman. No, you already Brahman, you're imagining you're not Brahman, and then hope that Kriya will create that. That is not possible. Karma cannot do something which is not possible. Asmadaya vakya bhedadi dosha prapti apariharya sya. Asmadaya vakya bhedadi dosha prapti. See, vakya bheda means one vakya conveying more than one meaning. That's called vakya bheda. So one meaning is that the vakya conveys the identity. Other meaning is that the vakya conveys karma. So one vakya cannot convey two meanings. At any time, no, in communication, one vakya should not convey more than one meaning. Otherwise, the listener gets confused. If both the meanings are possible, the listener would not know which one to take. So, Tattvamasi Vakya has two meanings. That Tat and Tvam are equal, and then you do something to make them equal. Then the Vakya it conveys two meanings, and then you don't know, what to do with it. It doesn't. Therefore, Vakya, that's called Vakya Bheda. In Vakya, any sentence, therefore in our communication also. When we say something, it should be very clear. It should convey one meaning only. If you want communication to take place, if you don't want it to take place, then it's a different matter. They can use your Vakya and manipulation for others. That is all right. As the politicians may do. There is a reason there. But otherwise in communication, a Vakya should have only one meaning. And here if you imagine karma also and jnana also, then one Vakya conveys more than one meanings. In that case, so Vakya bhedadi dosha praptehi. Then there will be dosha, the defect that there is Vakya bheda, one Vakya conveys two meanings. Apariharya syat. You cannot eliminate that defect of one Vakya conveying two meanings if you think that it conveys both knowledge as well as karma. So therefore, Shrutatyaga api anarthakaha. Tattvamoho tattvam siddham anapeksheva yatha kathanchit chintana vidhana abhivagame chintya brahma sakshatkarasya apramatvat avidyanavriti phalasiddhehe nirarthaka prasankhyanam vidhiti bhavaha. Tattvamoho tattvam siddham. That tat and tvam are already equal. So siddham anapeksheva. That you want to make tat and tvam equal or do something with them, you cannot do that unless you give up the equality or identity that exists. You cannot be searching for the 10th man unless you deny that I am the 10th man. Because the one who is searching for the 10th man is the 10th man. And you cannot be searching for 10th man unless you deny the fact that you are the 10th man. So also you cannot be doing something with Tattvam unless you deny the nature of Tat or Tvam, and both Tat and Tvam. Tattvamoho tattvam siddham anapeksheva yakhata kathanchit chintana vidhana abhivagame. So even though that tattvam siddham, even though the reality of both tat and tvam are, siddha means already existing, anapeksheva, you have to disregard that. Yatha kathanchit chintana vidhana. So how you will do that we don't know, but some way you disregard the equality existing and imagine them to be different than for some action of chinta, superimpose, tat upon tvam or something. Chintya brahma sakshatkarasya pramatvat. And then by this chintanam you realize Brahman. That Brahman will be cannot be Brahman. Yadi manyase svedeti dakhramevapi nunam te brahmano rupam. If you think that you know Brahman very well, then you certainly know only a fraction of Brahman. Because Brahman cannot be accomplished, Brahman cannot be, So, chintya brahma sakshatkarasya apramatvad. If you do sakshatkara of Brahma also, chintya means you imagine what Brahman is and do the sakshatkara by upasana. Still it is apramatvad. That is not reality about Brahman. So this is what was emphasized in Kenopanishad so much. That tadeva brahmatvam vidhi nedam yadidam upasate na idam iti upasate. Brahman cannot be known as idam. Avidyana vritti phala siddhehe. So even after realizing so-called Brahman, the ignorance is not removed. Nirarthaka prasankhana vidhi. Therefore, this prasankhana vidhi of doing some repetition or some work, some action, to make this Mahavakya become effective will only deny you the accomplishment of what the Mahavakya is meant to convey, meant to do. Uktat anabhignya puna akshepta. He has not understood what we have said. And therefore, again he challenges you. Next one. Yathanubhuyate truptihi bhujer vakyan gamyate vakyasya vritistadvata. What is it? Koshakrutya. No. Goshakrutya. Payasi kriya. He says, you have to experiencing, otherwise you can't get anything. This experiencing is a big deal, and Swami spent the whole life, I guess, in trying to dismiss that idea or refute that idea. Yatha anubhuve, because that was coming down, in the parampara. Anyway, yatha anubhuvete truptihi, yatha bhujehe. So yatha bhujehe truptihi anubhuvete. Just as when you eat something, then only there is contentment, satisfaction. Na vakyad gamyate. Oh, I'm happy, I'm satisfied that I ate the ice cream or I ate the food, whatever it is. By simply the vakya, you don't get the trupti. Trupti or contentment, satisfaction you get by actually eating. So karma can bring about the trupti, not vakya. Vakyasya vidruti tadvat goshakrut payasi kriya. Goshakrut is cow dung. Payasa is the Payasa means, what shall I say, the boiled rice with, milk and sugar. Payas is a modification of payas or milk. So it is like equating these two, Says, bhujehe bhojanat trupti phalam. Vakyat jnana nagamyate. Bhujehe trupti. Bhuje means bhojana trupti phalam. The phalam that you get by bhojanam, by enjoying a meal or eating food, you cannot get that trupti by, how nice I feel, I've eaten 2 samosas. That doesn't happen. Vakyat jnana nagamyate. I clearly know the meaning. I've eaten 2 samosas. By knowing the meaning of that vakya, you don't get the trupti or satisfaction of eating what you get by eating samosas. So, na gamyate moksha phalam. Similarly also, by simply vakya, you are Brahman, the moksha phalam you don't get, you experience. Tasmad yatha goshakrut payasi kriya. That's the compound. So, goshakrutaha. Shakrut means excretion. And so Gomayat, that means the cow dung. Payasi kriya, payasa karanam, making kheer or making payasam. Na upadyate. So you cannot make payasam or kheer out of cow dung. Just because you state that, so by stating that nothing happens. Tasya tat asadhanatvat. Because the cow dung is not the means of making payasam. Therefore, you can't make payasam out of cow dung. Tadvat similarly vakyasya vidrutihi vidharanam artha avdharanam. So vidrutihi vidharanam artha, meaning that merely you clearly understand the meaning of the vakya. Na vakyartha aparoksha sadhanam. But you cannot experience the contentment that comes by the experience. I mean, you cannot feel that contentment that you feel by experiencing the identity. By knowing the identity, nothing happens. By experiencing identity, that you get the moksha sukham, not otherwise. So, उत्सर्गतः वाक्यं न अर्थ अपरोक्ष्यार्थमिति अंगीकुर्वन्. सो अर्थ अपरोक्ष्यार्थमिति अंगीकृत्य कुर्वन् प्रकृतस्य अपवादकमः सिद्धान्ति. The general rule is all right. Utsargatah vakyam na arth aparokshartham. That as a general rule, the vakya or a statement will not bring about the aparoksha or experience. Yes. It means simply words do not create, aparoksha jnana. Today also in Rishikesh they keep repeating Shabda se paroksha jnana hota hai. Shabda can give you only paroksha jnanam. That is true. But there is an exception here. So, utsargatah vakyam na artha aparoksharthatvam tam. That is a general rule. It is true that the word or the sentence does not give you an immediate knowledge, gives you an indirect knowledge. You describe something like Empire State Building, you get some idea about that. It doesn't create paroksha jnanam. That is true. So, etad we accept in general that words can create only paroksha jnanam. Prakriti is apavadakama, but then this is apavada. This is an exception to that rule. Satyamiti. Satyameva manatmartham. Satyameva manatmartha. Vakyat paroksha bodhanam. Pratyagaatmaninatvevam sankhya praptivadadhruvam. Satyam. You write that simply by a statement that I had a nice payasam doesn't give you satisfaction of payasam. Anatmartha vakyat paroksha bodhanam satyam. That when you refer to anything that is anatma, then of course a vakya does not give you an immediate result, immediate experience, that you would experience something when it comes to anatma. Pratyagatmanintu evam. That's not the case, reference one's own self. Dashamastvamasi, that you are the 10th man. Now that vakya creates aparoksha jnanam. So there is an exception where a vakya reveals an existing fact which you have to see, which you are not seeing for some reason, and so that vakya removes the notion and you see the existing fact. For whatever reason, the fact is existing, the Krishnamurti is there, you don't see him, then this is Krishnamurti. So the existing fact, I am 10th, I don't see it, you are the 10th man. Existing fact, I am Brahman, I don't see, you are Brahman. So when a Vakya reveals an existing fact, not only about you, about any fact, this person I am talking to happens to be, I don't recognize him. And then, hey, Swamiji, you recognize is this Krishnamurti, Chandramauli, XYZ. Then I go back in my memory lanes and say, yeah, that's right. So that Vakya creates aparoksha jnanam because the vastu is aparoksham, that is why. See, jnanam always is true to the object of knowledge. Since Atma is aparoksha, therefore this Vakya creates aparoksha jnanam. Pratyagatmani natvevam sankhya praptivat adhruvam. Like recognize I am the 10th man when it's told that dashamastvamasi. So yes, satyam. As a general rule you are right that Vakya cannot create experience. But there is an exception where the Vakya also creates experience. Pratyagatmani tu naivam. In case of Pratyagatma, that rule, general rule, that Vakya always creates Paroksha Jnanam does not apply. Adhruvam, Anischitam, not Adhruvam, not Anischitam, Anischitam, not in case of Pratyagatma. Kintu Sankhya Praptivad, Dashama Sankhya Praptivad, Aparoksha Jnana Sadhanatvam Vakyasa, Dhruvam Eva Ityarthaha. Tvam Dashamosi, that Vakya leaves no doubt in this person. So Dhruvam will definitely create the experience of 10th man. If that's what you want to say, that you are the 10th man, will create experience of 10th man, satisfaction of 10th man, realization of 10th man. All these words will be okay, as long as you know it is the praptasya praptihi. Otherwise, realize, etc., they all presuppose apraptam. Because that's how their day-to-day language and life is. And this is an exceptional case. Sankhya praptivad, dashama sankhya praptivad, aparoksha jnana sadhanatvam vakyasa dhruvam eva. Therefore, that vakya tattvamasi, it certainly becomes a means of seeing the aparokshatvam of Brahman or the nirdukkitvam of the Atma, because that is the reality revealed by this Vakya. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah. Ishvaro Gururatmeri Murti Bheda Vyomavadvyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.